National Crop Insurance Services and its predecessors have conducted research on crop losses since 1923. In those early days, modern agronomic research was in its infancy and statistical methods for analyzing agricultural data were being developed. Crop loss adjusting at the time was mostly an art based on experience and personal observation, and land-grant universities were already independently investigating the effects of hail on corn yields. By the 1940s, the industry understood the value of funding research at land-grant university agricultural experiment stations. However, some companies and associations attempted to conduct on-farm research on specific crops with mixed results, as noted in this report on hemp insurance. At the request of the writer, an experienced tobacco adjuster, dirt farmer, hemp grower, and college graduate was instructed to run artificial hail damage every 10 days on fiber hemp. When the time came to view the experiments, it was found that all evidence was destroyed by calves breaking into the hemp fields and tramping out the experiments. B.B. Bird, Special Agent, Hail Department, September 26, 1942. From the beginning, committees played a central role in how companies corresponded with each other and conducted the business of crop loss research. By the 1950s and in the years that followed, industry personnel formed numerous committees to address the need for more research on more crops. Within committees, there were subcommittees that focused on specifics such as defoliation or the development of adjuster worksheets. These committees were also tasked with the development and assemblage of loss instructions. As can be imagined, this required significant industry time, manpower, and financial resources to maintain. Today, the committee structure is greatly simplified, and a majority of industry business is conducted by a few standing committees and the regional state committees. The task of coordinating research projects, analyzing research results, and developing cross-loss instructions is the responsibility of the Agriculture, Research and Technology and Crop Hail Policy and Procedure programs at National Crop Insurance Services. This structure saves industry personnel countless hours of communication and organization that distracts from their primary roles as adjusters and managers. It is through this committee structure that the ideas for agronomic research are advanced. One of the best sources for research ideas are the adjusters and supervisors that comprise the regional state committees. They are the eyes and ears of the industry that put the loss procedures to use every day and recognize situations where current procedures may need to be enhanced, changed, or reevaluated altogether. Using the committee structure, a recommendation for research can be advanced from the field, giving them a voice in the overall direction of the industry. Another source for research ideas are the Crop Hail and MPCI Policy, Procedure, and Loss Adjustment Committees. The personnel on these committees get a nationwide sense of issues affecting the implementation of procedures and the policy behind them. Their valued input results from discussions with their field managers and supervisors across the United States, and they can identify procedural problems at local, regional, and national scales. Another source for research ideas comes from the Agriculture and Technology Research Program at NCIS. The program is currently directed by the Crop Hail PPLA Committee to identify older procedures that are due for updated research that can be integrated into the loss instructions. When a request for research is advanced from a regional state committee, the first step is to forward the recommendation to their respective regional state committee NCIS liaison. The liaison reviews the recommendation, makes clarification, advises on language and feasibility, and assembles supporting statistics such as losses and premiums. The liaison becomes the shepherd for getting the recommendation to the respective policy, procedures, and loss adjustment committee liaison. The PPLA liaison aggregates the recommendations from all of the regional state committees and forwards them to all the other regional states committees so that they can be voted on at the respective annual meetings during January, February, and March. They can either vote for or against the recommendation, or if it does not apply to crops in their region, they can stay neutral and vote not applicable. This gives committee members from other states and regions a voice in the recommendation process, even if they do not recommend research or policy changes. Following the regional state committee voting, the respective PPLA liaison aggregates the responses from the regional state committees. The responses are then added to the PPLA committee agenda for review at the next meeting in April. The PPLA committee can reject or request more information, in which case the recommendation is returned to the regional state committee. The recommendation can also be tabled until the next PPLA committee meeting. If the recommendation is approved, It is added to the agenda for the Program Development Committee, which meets in May. Similar to the PPLA committees, the Program Development Committee can reject the recommendation or request more information. They can also table the recommendation until the next meeting. If the recommendation is approved, it is added as a consent agenda item to the Board of Directors meeting in June. The Board can line item reject individual recommendations, request more information, table agenda items, or approve some or all of the recommendations. Once approved by the Board of Directors, the NCIS Agriculture and Technology Research Program goes to work to hammer out the details of the proposed research. Behind the scenes, the Agriculture and Technology Research Program typically has already discussed the project with researchers that are likely candidates to conduct the research. If the research involves a fall planted crop, NCIS will act quickly to develop a protocol with the researchers so that the research can commence immediately. If it is a spring planted crop, NCIS will develop a protocol with the researchers over the winter months in preparation for the spring planting season. Each research project is conducted for a minimum of 3 years. Although this seems like a long time, this is necessary to encompass as much environmental variability in the data as possible. This improves the robustness of the data set and reliability of the statistical analysis. This in turn improves our ability to draw conclusions about the effect of the damage imposed. Following the third field season, data from all years and locations is aggregated by the NCIS Agricultural Research and Technology staff and analyzed. Once data are finalized, the results are presented to the respective PPLA committee at the April meeting. Just like original research recommendation that led to the research, the respective PPLA committee can approve or reject the research. They can also request that further research be initiated or table the research until the next meeting. The research will also need to be approved by the Program Development Committee and the Board of Directors. However, in the meantime, NCIS will make draft changes to the loss instructions that are affected or develop new draft loss instructions. These changes to current procedure or new loss instructions are presented as a final product to the respective PPLA committee at their fall meeting. If the handbook changes or new procedures are approved by the respective PPLA committee, they are added to the Program Development Committee agenda for approval at their November meeting and then on to the Board of Directors for approval at their December meeting. At this juncture, the process of adopting crop hail and MPCI research projects divulge. If the research proposes changes to the crop hail program, the changes or new procedures will likely be implemented the following season. However, if changes involve the MPCI program, a formal letter explaining the results and proposed changes is drafted by NCIS and sent to the Risk Management Agency's Loss Adjustment Standards branch in Kansas City. RMA will review the proposed changes, and if deemed appropriate, they may choose to implement these changes. The agriculture research that the industry entrusts NCIS with conducting truly is a great display of teamwork. Since the early days, cooperation and communication within the industry has always been a strong point of crop insurance and the key to providing the best service to our clients, America's great agricultural producers. Within the committee structure, everyone from field adjusters to national managers provide input that guides the research and the conversation, all with one goal of creating current, accurate, and fair insurance products for producers and insurers alike. As we continue forward as an industry, it should not be lost on anyone that the key to fair and accurate adjustments begins and ends with ideas and deliberations that are carefully vetted by all the crop insurance companies. The road is sometimes long, but the method is proven sound and results in carefully constructed policy and procedure. National Crop Insurance Services would like to extend gratitude to their Board of Directors, the member companies that provide support, and to the USDA Risk Management Agency for their involvement with the industry to create the model public-private partnership.